Greetings, fellow bugs, it is me, MT, and welcome back to the Heavy Spoiler Show, y'all. This is going to be a breakdown of the ending of Netflix's recent TV adaptation of the Three Body Problem book series, because why not give everyone with a Netflix account an existential crisis? Thank you, Netflix. I will never look at the night sky the same way ever again. But anyways, let's make like Augie's nanotech gas and break down some key parts of this show, shall we? But hey, before I do, if you guys want to drop a quick thumbs up on this video to support the channel, that would be super dope and would make me and Paul's days tremendously. But if you guys want to do even more to support the channel, you guys can spend 99 cents a month to become a member, because members get early access to all of our videos before everyone else. So if you guys want that cool perk while also being able to support the Heavy Spoilers channel, be sure to become a member today. It's literally only $1. You will not miss it, trust me. But at any rate, we're just glad that you guys took the time to stop by and watch the video. But anyways, alright, so Three Body Problem was originally a book series written by Liu Cixin, and it is the name of the first book of a trilogy called Remembrance of Earth's Past. Originally published in 2008 completely in Chinese, The Three Body Problem would become so popular that an English version of the novel would be published 6 years later in 2014, which is crazy considering how the story first started in 2006 as a magazine serial within the pages of China's Science Fiction World magazine. So it was a magazine story adapted into a book, adapted into a Netflix series by infamous Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, alongside Alexander Woo, who has done extensive writing work on the hit TV show True Blood, the one with the vampires and the youths doing all the vampire things. And while the Three Body Problem Netflix series does a great job of capturing the emotional weight of the original novel series, this new adaptation has very obviously taken their own liberties to switch things up a little in order to suit a much larger global audience outside of China. But don't worry, all the decisions that all these three co-creators made were done with the direct blessing of author Liu Cixin before they started developing the show. So while some characters, settings, and timing of events may slightly vary from the books, the showrunners of this Netflix series made sure that the essence of the author's vision was still very much intact. And the most notable changes that the lovers of the book series would notice right away from episode 1 is the diverse cast of main characters that make up the show's Oxford Five, a group of 5 nerdy-ass college friends who are eventually charged with trying to solve the mystery of Earth's new cosmic problems. We have Jin Chang, played by actress Jess Hong, nanotech maestro Augustina Salazar, aka Augie, played by Isa Gonzalez, who is quite hot, the unmotivated Tinder legend Saul Durand, played by Jovan Adepo. The quiet and kind Will Downing, who had a good head on his shoulders, was played by Alex Sharp, and the king of Jack Snacks, Jack Rooney, is of course played by Game of Thrones alum John Bradley. Quite a few faces from Game of Thrones can be spotted throughout this series, actually, as actor Liam Cunningham of course plays the no-nonsense, high-ranking strategist Wade after playing Davos Seaworth in Game of Thrones, and actor Jonathan Pryce, who played the character High Sparrow in Game of Thrones, plays the billionaire cult leader Mike Evans this time around. But anyways, all 5 of these Oxford University alumni are unfortunately brought together to mourn the loss of their beloved mentor, Vera, after Vera mysteriously decides to belly flop her way into the great beyond, a mystery connected to a string of other mystery deaths that Benedict Wong's detective Da Shi obsessively attempts to solve when we first meet him in episode 1. During Da Shi's investigations into these strange suicides, he comes across a creepy countdown sequence that a lot of these dead scientists have become obsessed with before they died, with Augie becoming the latest scientist across the world to be afflicted by the presence of a glowing countdown manifesting itself within her mind. However, one night, while Augie is freaking out and trying to make sense of her scary new reality, she is visited by a mysterious woman named Tatiana, played by actress Marlo Kelly, who hints that whatever is happening to Augie is connected to some type of divine being in the cosmos, and all that Augie needed to do to stop this countdown from happening was to stop her groundbreaking work on nanotechnology. But being a rational person, Augie of course thinks this religious woman is completely batshit insane until all the stars in the night sky appear to blink simultaneously at the same exact time that this mysterious girl said that they would. This is then followed by the immediate ceasing of the countdown within her mind as soon as Augie abruptly shuts down the development of her nanotech fibers. But hold up, time out now. Why the hell is all of this weird shit happening anyway? Well, it's this lady's fault. Wenjie Ye, Vera's mother. Because way back in the 1960s and 70s, Wenjie got pretty damn tired of humanity's shit. Growing up in China during the Cultural Revolution headed by China's super radical and intolerant leader Mao Zedong, whose advancement of his extreme communist ideology led to the formation of the Red Guard, a movement of young people who wholeheartedly drank the Kool-Aid of Maoism and assisted their leader in trying to eliminate anyone who advanced ideas contrary to Mao's ideology. Vera's mother Wenjie saw the violence and fear that the youths of the Red Guard spread across the country when she was forced to witness her father get publicly beaten to death for refusing to denounce the tenets of astrophysics. And while Wenjie's father was being beaten to death, you can see that a bunch of these Maoist supporters in the audience are holding a little red book. That little red book is actually called Quotations from Chairman Mao Zedong, which is a book that contained a bunch of sayings and ideals from Chairman Mao Zedong himself, as indicated by the title. So it was basically the Communist Bible of China at that time. But anyways, after being tricked and intimidated by the Chinese government into serving the rest of her life at a satellite installation called the Red Coast, whose main purpose was to detect and make contact with alien life, she uses that big brain that her father gave her to deduce that the best way to make contact with whatever mysterious alien race was out there was to use the sun as a means to bounce and amplify a communication signal to them. And after Wenjie does this, to her surprise, she actually gets a response back, but it's a response of warning, informing her and the human race that they should not, under any circumstances, attempt to contact this mysterious alien race again, because if they did, the human race would risk an inevitable invasion. However, since Wenjie was very much done with the darkness and selfishness of mankind, she willingly goes against that warning from the other side and telegraphs a warm welcome to those prospective future alien overlords. And in the years following her initial contact with that far-off alien race that Wenjie has dubbed the Santi, she would form a close bond and relationship with Mike Evans of Evans Energy and use his extensive money and resources to form a cult dedicated towards preparing future generations for the arrival of their new cosmic gods. Wenjie and Mike Evans would also enter the bone zone with one another, leading to the birth of Vera, with Mike Evans not laying an eye on his daughter until we see him glance at her corpse during her funeral. Truly Father of the Year material right there. But anyways, part of Evans and Wenjie's preparation includes the recruitment of humanity's best and brightest scientists through the use of this crazy high-tech virtual reality headset. A headset created with the goal of getting humanity to understand the plight of the Santi race of aliens, and how the Santi have no choice but to seek out a new habitable homeworld due to the chaotic nature of the three-body star system that their original homeworld resides in. The very gravitational pull that these three massive star bodies produced forced their planet to enter ice ages, ages of intense overheating, and sometimes even people getting involuntarily pulled into the sky, which kind of makes you wonder how the people on the planet Xandar from Guardians of the Galaxy are able to live on their planet peacefully without their own three-body system fucking their shit all the way up. The Santi are actually called the Trisolarans in the books after these three solar bodies, but they changed the name to the Santi for this series. But anyways, since Vera was playing with one of these virtual reality headsets before she died, Jin Chang and Jack Rooney both decide to jump into this super realistic simulation in order to try to solve the mystery of why these headsets are being sent to specific geniuses across the world. Jin Chang named herself Copernicus after the scientist who developed the heliocentric theory about how the Earth revolves around the sun rather than the sun revolving around the Earth, while Jack Rooney names himself after Sir Francis Bacon, the very father of the scientific method, which was the method that Jin and Jack were using to try to solve the mystery of the three-body problem. And as both of them spend a ridiculous amount of time in that game trying to help this alien race solve that mystery of their continued destruction, they run into other players who have also adopted the names of other famous scientists like Aristotle, Galileo, Sir Isaac Newton, and Alan Turing. But anyways, when Jin realizes that the purpose of the game was to get the smartest people of the world to empathize with the dire situation of the Santi, her and Jack are directed to meet up with Tatiana, who informs them that the Santi are indeed real and very much on their way to Earth. A revelation that causes Jack to freak the hell out and tap out of this weird culty bullshit immediately to go process his emotions at a nearby pub, because Jack is a rational man. But unfortunately for Jack, that rational man just knew way too much and needed to be murdered by Tatiana by getting stabbed in the neck, which is Not so great, of course, but still very likely the most penetration that nerdy-ass bedroom has ever seen. But speaking of that bedroom, I love how we can see that he owns a Captain America shield, Thor's hammer, a xenomorph from Alien, a gremlin, a TIE fighter figure, and a stormtrooper helmet, and how he kept all of his prized photos and possessions from his childhood inside of a Transformers lunchbox, with Metal Sonic from the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise and some Pokemon cards being some of the things that Jack was super into as a kid. So needless to say, this founder of Jack's Snacks was definitely a nerd of the highest caliber with money to blow, and by God did he use that money exactly the way that I would have, because life is too damn short to not keep your inner nerd child alive. But being the wholesome king that he is, Jack also made sure that his best friend Will Downing inherited pretty much all of his wealth upon his death, very much underscoring how much Jack believed that Will would somehow find a way to beat his pancreatic cancer and outlive him. But anyways, despite being rattled by Jack's death, Jin is introduced to Wade, who convinces Jin to attend a gathering of loyal human Santi worshippers, where she discovers that Vera's mother Wenjie was actually one of the cult's founding members. And after learning this, Wade and his intelligence officers convince Augie to restart her work on those nanofibers in order for her to develop a weapon capable of annihilating every single member of that traitorous cult sailing on a ship called the Judgment Day in order to gain valuable intel about Mike Evans' communications with the Santi race, which Augie very reluctantly does, causing Mike Evans, his followers, and a bunch of innocent children to be sliced up in the most brutal way possible. Like, my God, that little French girl did not stand a chance. But anyways, after receiving a hard drive of all of Mike Evans' conversations with the Santi Lord, Wade and Dashi learned that Mike Evans successfully spooked the Santi when he revealed the untrustworthy and destructive nature of the human race and taught the Santi to view humanity like mindless bugs meant to be exterminated for the greater good, which is why the Santi stopped all communications with Mike Evans and allowed him and his cult to be wiped out, because the Santi did not believe coexistence with such a species capable of lying and hiding their intentions would be healthy for their people in the long run. And not long after this, Jin brings Wade into the virtual reality simulation for the very first time, where they both learn the deeply unsettling truth about the Santi race. The Santi have been watching humanity this entire time like perverts, specifically through the use of their impossibly high-tech mastery over atomic particles and multiple dimensions, allowing them to create the smallest sentient computer system ever. A sophisticated computer the size of a proton, appropriately called sophons. Through the use of two pairs of two sophons, the Santi were able to monitor every single person on the Earth at the same exact time, while also being able to completely derail humanity's grasp on science and physics as a whole. And not only this, but sophons also carry the ability to mess with human vision and the human mind, causing Augie and a bunch of other scientists working on projects potentially dangerous to the Santi to see countdowns to major consequences. The sophons also allowed Tatiana to move as an invisible evangelist assassin throughout the UK, which is why Dashi was unable to see Jack being murdered with his own eyes. But anyways, right after Wade and Jin are told all of this, the entire world gets to witness just how powerful a pair of multi-dimensional sophons can actually be, with the Santi using pretty much every electrical device with a screen to tell the human race that they are nothing but destructive bugs to be exterminated for the good of a race of superior beings and thinkers, echoing the words of Mike Evans as well as the Chairman Mao-loving Red Guard at the very beginning of the show when they all chanted for all of Chairman Mao's enemies to be exterminated like pests. The Santi also caused a big-ass eyeball to appear in the sky for every human being to see, throwing the people of the world into an existential panic and the intelligence agencies of the world into drastic action. Vera learned all of this after discovering communications between her parents about the coming of the Santi, and the weight of her parents' betrayal combined with the scientific chaos that the Santi were purposely causing led Vera to take her own life. Now, pretty much everything from episode 5 onwards begins to be an adaptation of the second book of the Remembrance of Earth's Past trilogy called The Dark Forest, and it's a book that primarily deals with how the UN tries to combat the all-seeing eye of the Santi by creating the Wallfacer Project, choosing Saul Durand as one of a select few people who have the authority to develop strategic plans against the Santi completely within the realms of their own minds, and to execute those plans using the entire world's resources at their disposal. The Wallfacer project became humanity's last hope after Wade's attempt to meet and understand the Santi by strapping Will Downing's brain to a rocket ship propelled by a series of nukes, not so surprisingly failed, because what the hell was that idea about? That seems kind of stupid. However, much like we saw the Santi express fear to Mike Evans when he revealed to them that humans can hide their true intentions, the Santi expressed great fear of Saul and the other Wallfacers and recruited assassins to try to take them all out. Much like they recruited Tatiana to eliminate Wen Jie when she revisited the satellite installation at the Red Coast. The Santi also end the season by forcing hallucinations on Wade to try to stop him from developing even more plans to thwart their arrival, with these hallucinations very well possibly ending up with him being labeled as a crazy kook in season 2, and possibly even leading to him taking his own life, much like all those other scientists who had their brains messed up by the Santi did. But the final scene of the season, of course, has Dashi confronting an emotionally defeated Jin and Saul, who both begin to feel just how small humanity is in comparison to the far more advanced alien race dedicated to taking their planet. Dashi tells them that no matter how much humans try to stamp bugs out, bugs still manage to survive and thrive anyway, because life, finds a way. Very much leaving the doors open for humanity to fight back in a potential season 2. A season 2 that I for damn sure am excited as hell for, because I love space narratives that make you think like this one does. And if this show does get a season 2, I am super amped to see just how Netflix tackles the Wallbreakers, a group of loyal Santi worshippers who are specifically chosen to be intellectual foils to the Wallfacers chosen for the Wallfacer program, using their own minds as well as help from the Sophons in order to decipher just what the hell these Wallfacers are thinking. Like, I truly love Saul as a character and definitely hope to see him evolve into his role as a Wallfacer, because he truly has an incredible mind when he is forced to use it. But anyways, that is it for this ending analysis of the Three Body Problem Netflix series. What did you guys think of this show? Let us know in the comment section down below. And also, major shoutouts to friend of the channel Mo Hussein for helping me understand some key stuff from the source material. Follow him over at 2lettermo on Twitter and show that man some love, because he's truly a kind and swell fellow, and I'm truly thankful for his beautiful mind and help. You can follow me at Mastertainment on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, or wherever I am on the internet, but most importantly, you can follow Heavy Spoilers here on YouTube, and when you do, make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you guys can get notifications for all the videos that we upload, because we be uploading videos pretty much every day. You don't want to miss it. And like I said before, for just 99 cents a month, you can become a member and get early access to all of our videos before everybody else, and it's super cheap, and you won't even notice that the dollar is gone. So what are you waiting for? Become a member today, why don't you? But regardless of what you do, I just want to thank you guys once again for watching this video. You guys are amazing. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.